Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ, you're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. As you can see, we're down tier on Land of Fire in a domination match, and we are in the Italian Tier 7 Tech Tree Destroyer, Vittorio Cuniberti. Quoting Wargaming from wargaming.net, Vittorio Cuniberti was intended to be a further development of the Maestrale class, equipped with twin superfiring mounts forward of the superstructure and quadruple torpedo launchers. So whether or not this was a drawing on a napkin or just a made-up ship by Wargaming, I will leave that up to you to decide. But it did not exist in real life. Going to WoW's builds for a second. Sigma of Vittorio Cuniberti 2.0. Fires per minute 3.53. Torpedo reaction time 7.55 seconds. We will do kind of a wonky stat comparison because WoW's builds is not letting me select and sort stats. So we're going to head towards the Bravo cap with no support from my team. You'll watch them leave me here in the middle all alone. Let's talk about the namesake of this ship. Vittorio Emilio Cuniberti was an Italian military officer and naval engineer who envisioned the concept of the all-big gun battleship, best exemplified by HMS Dreadnought. He wrote an article published in Jane's Fighting Ships in 1903. Until that time, quoting Wikipedia, the navies of the world built ships with a mixture of large and medium caliber guns. The ship Cuniberti envisaged would be a colossus of the seas. His main idea was this ship would carry only one caliber gun, the biggest available, which at that time was a 12-inch or a 305mm gun. His ideal ship had 12 305mm guns, therefore having a significant advantage of 4 of the enemy ship, meaning the enemy ship only had 4 of those guns. His ship allegedly was going to be fast. The goal of this type of warfare would be to full salvo broadside on an enemy ship, destroy it, move on to the next ship, and just destroy the enemy fleet one by one. The Italian government declined to produce these ships for budgetary reasons, but gave him permission to write the article, which was published before the Battle of Tsushima, which, according to whoever wrote this Wikipedia, vindicated his ideas. Alright, so we moved into the cap, we spotted some ships, and we hid behind a rock. That's my contribution so far. I will note Vittorio Cuniberti does have a 360-degree rear turret. As you can see, it's just going to rotate over the center line of the ship and not go all the way around, therefore making this ship really adept at gunfighting. Combine that with the SAP, it's easy to keep your guns on target with this ship. And we'll see some really bad gunnery later on by yours truly. Alright, creeping forward, I really wish somebody would shoot at the Iowa. There was a Neptune there earlier that got punched by my teammates, so even though I really only have one ship behind me, they did at least kill the Neptune without my input. Here, the Iowa is insisting on moving forward. We're going to move forward after getting that solo base cap and send one rack of torpedoes his way. And then we're probably going to do a 180 and go right back the other way. So if you haven't watched any of my other videos, the way you have to play these Italian destroyers is a little bit of everything. Ideally, you're going to be able to isolate the enemy destroyers 1v1 and take them out with your SAP. You're going to use your torpedoes to screen cap circles like we are now, area denial, or maybe get lucky and catch a broadside battleship come around a corner of an island, or maybe in a match with an aircraft carrier, get the carrier planes to spot the enemy ships for you while you use your rolling smoke screen to do an Emilio-esque torpedo run. But keep in mind, these are very low damage torpedoes. You will not be taking out a full health ship a la Paolo Emilio in any Russian destroyer or Italian destroyer, in my opinion. All right, there we got a torpedo strike on the Iowa, and he is momentarily doing a little bit of flooding. We'll engage this rolling smoke screen because I think he was getting too close. I was hoping somebody else would keep him spotted so I could unleash my other set of torpedoes, but no such luck. So hopefully I'm going to hold on to these. Yeah, this is one of the more disappointing things when you have the opportunity to take out an enemy ship and you lose it simply because no one else is spotting the ship but you. And then, of course, because you're throwing up a smoke screen, that doesn't help either. Here we're going to torp at Iowa, but it is turning away. We're going to fire him up with our guns and don't do enough damage there to take him out. And shortly, my teammates will take him out, even though we did flood a significant portion of his health away. We do not get the kill. All right, now we're moving towards Alpha because the enemy has that cap circle. We're going to send another set of torpedoes at the République, and we will let this battleship handle that. We are going to turn and go in the back door of the Alpha Cap and hope that good things happen. As you can see, we're full health, and right now we have been playing this match with impunity, also with limited impact on the outcome of the match, except for that solo base cap. I like the Cuniberti. I'm a little hesitant about Adriatico. I've heard Adriatico does not get the 360-degree rear turret. That is greatly troubling to me. Other than that, I think these are middle-of-the-pack destroyers. I don't think they're particularly powerful. While their SAP is nice, it struggles to be useful against cruisers. Whereas if you were in a Russian or a French destroyer and you caught one of those ships broadside, you could pretty much end their night. Or a German. Any of those three nations, you can end a cruiser's night if you catch them broadside with a couple salvos of AP. The SAP does not have the penetrating qualities. We are spotted. I do launch one set of torps at République. In theory, République sees these torpedoes because the plane sees me. We're going to ponder about what exactly happened here in a minute. We're going to turn for the Cadro. If you notice closely, I do hardly any damage to the Cadro. First salvo, 1 hit. Second salvo, 3 hits that don't do a ton of damage. Third salvo, 2 hits. We get a kill. And I don't know what happened there, but I guess I killed that ship too. I don't know. I didn't think I shot again yet, but whatever. Maybe the last salvo traveled so slowly through the air that it just took that long to hit the Cadro. Anyway, we got a double strike out of it, so that automatically makes me awesome. Let's go into the Alpha Cap and flip the cap. So again, this is one of your key things in these kind of destroyers that don't do a ton of stuff. You got to get points wherever you can get them. So capping the base, great. Solo base cap, even better. Switching a cap from red to blue, superlative. Cap defending, well, if you can do that without getting ripped apart, I strongly advise all of the above. AA is pretty weak on these Italian destroyers as well. I don't know if any of the previous early access matches were with carriers. I think one of them might be. You can be easily neutralized by a good carrier player in these things, so keep that in mind because the brother ship's not great either. They're a lot like the French ships, except they have low damage torpedoes and they have SAP instead of armor piercing. And you do have a rolling smoke, and the French have not. So while they're not as easily neutralized by vision capability ships like radar, sonar, aircraft carriers, they are somewhat easily neutralized because it's hard for you to do damage against cruisers unless they blunder into your torpedoes, because you're not going to damage them with your SAP. All right, we spot the Zeiten. I like Zeiten. We're going to spot the Zeiten. We get an assisted base cap, and we're going to move out towards the Bravo Cap. And at this point, I would be telling all of you, you want to take the fight to the Alpha Cap if you can. And if you can't do that, take it to the Bravo Cap and at least keep this cap safe. So I'm exhorting my teammates. That means I'm like asking and encouraging them to help me. And we do have a tied match here. Not by points, but in ships remaining. So until one of these ships gets killed on the red team, we're kind of in hot water here. All right, so we're moving out. I elected not to use my speed boost because I might have to use it later. I'm not smart enough to know if there's enough time left in the match to use them both. The enemy destroyer appears to be in the cap, and that's okay, because I'm ready for him. I believe it is the Schmoland or Smoland. Smoland. I think it's Smoland. Anyway, what it also is a ship with no health left. So, another easy kill. I'll take it. Kill number 3. Cap defended flag for good measure. We're going to hit our rolling smoke, but you can see the Zayton's aim is not affected by that. That stuff's kind of right on target. So I think the aiming formula for those shots was already programmed in before I hit my rolling smoke. So don't count on the rolling smoke to save you if a ship's secondaries are already engaging you. All right, we left the cap because I was out of torpedoes and because there wasn't a reason for me to keep pushing because there weren't any ships left in the Bravo cap. So we retained the Bravo cap and we're going to go around the outside of the island here and then re-engage the Zayton and any other enemy ships. So because I took out Schmoland, we do have a 1-ship lead. I am really reluctant to shoot because I don't want to get secondaries at me again. Even though they didn't do a ton of damage before. But yep, I'm just not confident. And here I'm looking to make sure the enemy doesn't go around the island and come out the other side. But I see the Bismarck and I like to turn back in. This is probably the best decision I made in the last couple of days, to turn back in on this one. And so we're going to bow in here, and in a minute you're going to see why this was a prescient decision on my part. We're still maintaining a lead of just under 160 points, I'm going to say. Zayton coming back broadside. We're not going to shoot at him. Bismarck. Oh yeah, this is another way you can use these torpedoes. You got a ship turning in, half health or below. Not spotted by anybody except for us. We dodge all but, I guess, a couple of shells there. It does set me on fire. That's okay. But at this point, I don't think he knows that he is dead. And here come the torpedoes. 1 torpedo, 3 torpedoes, sorry. 3 total torpedoes, and we get our 4th kill. All right, we're officially on the hunt for a Kraken fail. Right now, you want to know what happened? My elite controller D-pad stopped working. Right now, I was hitting the left D-pad as many times as I could, and it was not working. So right now, I am turning, dropping that controller, grabbing my regular $60 controller, turning it on, deactivating the elite controller, and so there went my chance for the Kraken folks behind the island, because the Zayton is going to run into these torpedoes. And I didn't even get a chance to shoot at him. So this is not a Kraken fail, but I think we can all agree if my torpedoes or if my controller had been working, I still wouldn't have gotten the kill. All right, finally the battle ends. Good grief. Here we are on the victory screen. Double strike medal, 50,569 total damage, 39 main battery hits, 5 torpedo strikes, 4 big kills, 1 assisted base cap, 1 solo base cap, and 1 cap defended flag. We ended up with 316,925 silver and 9,393 ship XP. We ended up at the top of the board, 1 medal, 4 big kills, 2491 base XP. Down tier, and Vittorio Cuniberti. And it's a good thing we didn't see the last remaining ship, the Weimar, who's also on 4 kills, because I'm pretty sure he would have killed me. Unless he gave us the full broadside and my SAP got extremely lucky. Alright, let's go back to the port, take a look at the ship. Alright, here we are, the upgrades. Aiming System Mod 1. Propulsion Mod 2. Concealment System Mod 1. And Main Battery Mod 3. Those are the mods I advise for the ship. And it is fully upgraded, but not prestiged out yet. Loadout. 4 charges of the exhaust smoke generator. Lasts for just over 30 seconds. Emergency engine power lasts for 27 seconds. You have 4 charges of each one. We were running the Epic Ship XP booster for XP and the Common Battle booster for speed. We got the temporary Regia Marina camo because the permanent camo is not available, and the early adopter flag. Taking a look at the ship, 16,700 hit points with our build. We've got those 3x2 120mm turrets, 10.8 kilometer firing range, 5.1 second reload, 15.1 second turn time, HE shells 1700 max damage with a 7% fire chance, SAP shells 2600 max damage. You got 2 quad launchers, reload every 90 seconds, max damage is just 10,000. The torpedo range is 12 kilometers at 56 knots. The detectability is 1,100 meters. AA defense, it's terrible. Your longest ranging AA is 3.5 kilometers, and it sucks, so why bother talking about it? Max speed, 40.2 knots, 650 meter turning circle, 4.3 second rudder shift time. Concealment, rather large, largest ship of the tier, 5.7 on the surface, 3.2 from the air, 2.6 when firing in smoke. Take a look at the stats. That game, our best game in terms of ships destroyed, max damage, and max XP, I think. No, we had a better XP game. 2756 was our best XP game, but it wasn't a 4-kill game. Winning percentage of the ship, 64%. Main battery accuracy, 51%. It doesn't feel that accurate. Just saying. All right, moving on. All right, here we are. Take a look at the commander, Luigi Rizzo. He's fully maxed out. This is the same build we've used for virtually the entire Italian Tech Tree destroyer line. It is the one I recommend for these ships without exception, except for maybe the Tier 4 whose turrets turned a little slow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. I will see you on the next one.